I have always been in love with the performing arts. I was born in a family of artists. From my grandfather, who was an opera singer, he went to Italy. He studied at La Scala di Milano. So my house was always full of opera and opera singers and artists. My father plays 7 musical instruments. And since a very early age, I was introduced to dance, music. I played the piano, guitar, and we lived in a very creative, artistic environment. When I was 18 years old, I went from Ecuador, where I was born, Guayaquil, to New York. I went to Columbia University, and I attended also a performing arts program across the river at King University. It had a great dance program there, performing arts, really, musical theater. And after that, I went back to Ecuador. I lived in Ecuador for about 4 or 5 years, and I just couldn't adapt anymore. So I made the decision to come back to the States and came to Miami to see if I could, find a home here. And I was looking for a job. And I used to go to Miami Beach, and Lincoln Road had a few second-hand stores that used to, have great vintage stuff. And I was walking around and I saw this new space, and I crossed from this side to the other side of Lincoln Road. I knocked on the door, and John Rodaz opened the door, and I asked, "Is this a gallery?" And he goes, "No, it's a theater." And he invited me in, and that was the first day of the first preview ever of the Area Stage company then. And I came to see him that night, and I fell in love madly with him. And we've been together ever since. That day that I walked in, it was September 7th of 1989, and Miami was experiencing a renaissance. There were many investors that came to explore the market in South Beach, and it was the beginning of what South Beach is today. So it was exciting. It had gone over the impact of the Mariel, and I remember that there was, things happening artistically, in music. It was really exciting. It was new construction, new buildings, people were looking at the beach. And the Area Stage definitely was a pioneer in the renaissance of the arts as well. When I came from Ecuador, I had a production company, and I was already writing plays, I was producing theater, I was working with advertising agencies, everything that had to do with talent. I was developing talent, but it wasn't enough for me. I was really seeking, at the expense of sounding too snobbish, true art, like true, expression of artistic value and depth, and I was 27 years old, and I really wanted to do something more serious. And so when I met John, the Area Stage was the precise vehicle for me to really find that triggered my soul, that made me whole and complete. And theater has always done that for me. There were very few companies in Miami at the time. It was mostly what is called a road city, where theaters it will only host national tours, and little theaters could hardly make it. When we started producing theater, we started producing material that was really non-commercial, but it was so welcome, especially for snowbirds that came from New York to the beach. And we started developing new audiences, and pretty soon our company was earning awards, and we had a lot of press, and we had national recognition. We were in programs, for example, like Nightline with Ted Koppel. The only theater company has ever been in that program. It's Area Stage. So it was a really exciting time for us, and inevitably, we really, I think, had a very strong impact in the development of Lincoln Road and, you know, what became South Beach then. Area Stage started on Lincoln Road. We were there for 10 years. And then in 2008, we moved to the Rivera Plaza, which is across the street. And in there, we were able to develop the conservatory and the Inclusion Theater Project, which is the heart of Area Stage. And then at the dawn of the pandemic, they asked us to leave that space, and we're currently located, you know, here at Sunset Place, looking for a permanent home. The Inclusion Theater Project was funded officially in 2014, and that is an initiative that has always been at the heart of my service to the community. In my family, we have my cousins, they have developmental disabilities, and I knew how important in their development was music and theater and dancing. And so I wanted to extend the knowledge and the experience I had to those in this community who are artists with developmental disabilities that had no place where they can go. You have the Special Olympics, but you didn't have the special theater. And so that's what the Inclusion Theater Project is. We've been in operation since then, serving an average of 150 kids a year. Now, before we used to have the support of the state of Florida, but regrettably the grant was canceled. We're hoping to secure again. You know, we continue applying. The last 2 years, our funding has been denied, so we went from 400 children to 150, and that's where we are. But it is really a program that, even though it serves these artists of all abilities, I think the impact goes beyond, and it really serves all of us because it's a transformative experience. When you come see a show performed by them, there's nothing that can top that, nothing. So I'm very, very proud of our team, the effort our organization does, the support of our board of directors and the community at large that help us every year to continue with the program. I don't have a favorite production. I always fall in love with the last show that we do. We've been around for 34 years, and we've done, you know, over 300 shows and 400 events. So it's a large number of plays. But for the past 3 years, we've been exploring immersive theater, where the audience and the artists are all in the same stage. So there's no definition of a stage, where the audience and the people share the same space, so there's no stage. This has really gotten the attention of major industry players. Disney Theatricals is being very interested in our work. They have come down to see it, and we've been developing a very healthy relationship with them, you know, for future productions. Our next production is Oliver the Musical, and Cameron McIntosh office gave our organization permission to rewrite it and do a brand new staging of it, an immersive staging. And it's really exciting that, you know, this is happening. It's unusual and exciting. The production opens in February at the Art Center, February 2024. The future of Area Stage is really something that is exciting, and we hope that the Baron Carlyle would include us in their new phase of development. We are thinking that we will run their conservatory there, our educational programs, which are awesome. And here in South Miami, Sunset Place is going to received a brand new design by the famous London-based designer Thomas Heatherwick. And we're really hoping that we're going to have a permanent home here in Sunset Place in South Miami. It's really exciting. We need the support of our community. We need to find a permanent home. We are trying, as I said, to reach out to different things that are happening, but we need that person or that institution or that foundation that is going to step forward and say, here, there's this piece of land, here, there's this trust that we can create for you, because our service to the community, it's really important. We are changing lives. We serve about actually 1,000 kids a year who are artists who wouldn't have any other place to go to, and they come to Early Stage and they learn to be professionals. Today, for example, we have two of our students on Broadway. Mika Secada is in Back to the Future, and Marian Caserta is in Six. Our set designer, Frank Oliva, nominated for a Tony. He started with us when he was 15 years old. And the impact that our organization has had in the lives of so many people, I think it's crucial for us to have a healthy society. So Early Stage needs donations. Early Stage needs land. Early Stage needs community support. One day we got a phone call saying that a famous rock group wanted to do a video in our theater. And it was a mystery, they didn't reveal who it was. And Lincoln Road had a service road through the back, and they park, the trucks and the whole thing, and we realized it was U2, okay, the rock band. So we bring him through the back door, and we spend the whole morning videotaping in the theater, but they had never been to Lincoln Road. So when they say, well, let's go have lunch, something to eat, I said, here we have a lot of restaurants. So we stepped through the front door and we land on Lincoln Road, and they were like, oh my God, what is this? So by then, word had spread all along the restaurants on Lincoln Road that U2 was in our theater. And I step out with Bono in one side and The Edge in the other, and we're walking down Lincoln Road, and everybody from the restaurants were calling me, Maria, trying for me to take these people to the restaurants. And Bono turns to me and says, my God, you're really famous here. If you come to Miami, my recommendation would be Cecile's for breakfast. They have a mean breakfast. I love it. Everything is freshly baked. For dinner, I would do Root and Bone. They have really mastered Southern cuisine. They have the best fried chicken I've ever tried. They have amazing salads, and it's just like, true Southern cuisine. I love it. And across is Mitalia, and have great Italian food. I love their menu. Those are, boutique restaurants, and they're really local here to South Miami. And another place that I love to visit, and I spend my afternoons is Books and Books. We were together on Lincoln Road, Mitch Kaplan, the owner, and Early Stage. We were, like two few places where we could go at the dawn of Lincoln Road and South Beach. And then he has a shop in Coral Gables, and it's just such a beautiful place.